What's up, guys? So for this video, we are going to analyze Gyallis, the crystal and melee type Temtem. Before I get started, if you're new to the channel, this video will be one of many videos dedicated to a series where I analyze each ranked Temtem in the meta. So don't forget to subscribe and like the video if you enjoy it. So Gyallis is a dual type Temtem. It is both a crystal and melee type. It is weak to 3 types that can inflict double the damage to it, and they are fire, earth, and digital. It's also resistant to electric and toxic techniques. In case you don't have Gyallis, it can be caught in the dirt island of Tugma in the mines of Miglon. Moving on to Gyallis' traits, it can learn either mirroring or resistant. A mirroring is when the attacker attacks with a special technique. It will receive 25% knockback damage. And for resistant is when your Temtem gets a negative status condition such as burn, poison, frozen, sleep. It decreases its turn by 1. So for example, let's say your Temtem is poisoned for 2 turns. Well, with this trait, instead of 2 turns, it will be 1 instead. Between both of these traits, aim for resistance because of its effect. It will make it harder for the opponent to control Gyallis using status condition. When it comes to TV training values, Gyallis yields special defense +4. For anyone who doesn't know or understand what that is, basically any Temtem that you use who defeats a wild Gyallis will yield a special defense to its TVs, which overall increases that stat based on the amount of TVs it yields, and this also applies for when catching a wild Gyallis. Now moving on to Gyallis' overall base stats, Gyallis has a very high physical attack and speed stat, which makes it a sweeper. Gyallis' base attack is 85 and its speed is 100. Gyallis also has high HP at 86 and decent defense at 61, making it hard to KO. However, Gyallis does have a low stamina at 44, which does not allow it to stay on the field for too long. Its special attack is at 23, while its special defense is 61. Now Gyallis has a good move pool that takes advantage of its high base attack, so lean towards teaching your Gyallis physical attacks. As you level up your Gyallis, it can learn some great techniques, and these are the ones I recommend. The first technique is Sharp Stabs, which is a high priority move, which means the technique will be used with 1.5 times the speed of the user, allowing Gyallis to revenge kill most priority users who may want to outspeed it. It's a crystal technique that's a physical attack that inflicts 76 damage and requires 15 stamina and 1 hold before use. The next technique is Crystal Bite, which is Gyallis' main stab move, with normal priority. It's a crystal technique too, that's a physical attack that inflicts 130 damage, but requires 22 stamina and 1 hold before use. Now the next 2 techniques I recommend are taught to Gyallis through breeding. The first one is Heat Up, that's also a normal priority, which is a fire technique that applies a status condition to the user, boosting its attack by 2. A boost from Heat Up, Gyallis reaches a sky-high attack that very few Temtem are able to take hits from. And the next technique that Gyallis can learn through breeding that I recommend is Heido Uchi, which is another stab move that adds up to Gyallis' offensive coverage. allowing it to hit fire and earth types, and also deny an opponent turn if it's faster. It's also a normal priority and a melee technique that's a physical attack that inflicts 85 damage, which requires 21 stamina and 1 turn before use. It also has an effect in which the opposing Temtem sleeps for 1 turn. Now, if you're not into breeding, here's a few other notable techniques you can look at to teach your Gyallis by leveling it up. Dual Impact is a neutral technique, a physical attack with normal priority that inflicts 120 damage and requires 20 stamina. And next is Ninja Jitsu, which is a neutral technique too, physical attack with very high priority, which means that the technique will be used with 1.7 times the speed of the user. It inflicts 130 damage, however, requires 27 stamina and 2 holds before you could use it. And if you want to teach it a technique that applies a statue condition to boost one of its stats, Footwork boosts its speed by 2 and Block boosts its defense by 2, and both are high priority moves that require 50 stamina each and 1 hold before you can use it. For gear, a Gyallis should hold Ice Cube. Damage taken from fire techniques is reduced by 20%, and the gear can be obtained in the Mokopini Dojo. Now for partners that you should team up with Gyallis. Your first pick should be Akinu because of Kinu's traits. Akinu trait called Protector boosts the allies' defense and special defense, which turns an already bulky Gyallis into a defensive monster. Plus, adding Stonewall on top and the ability to heal it, Gyallis becomes hard to stop with Kinu. Another one is Pick-a-Pick. Gyallis likes Bamboozle support to absorb enemies' attack while it's setting up or attacking the enemy team. And one more could be Volorant. A Volorant with the Aerobic trait has the ability to outspeed faster priority users and KO them. Volorant can also use the Crystal Synergy on Toxic Plume to reduce the opposing Temtem's attack. So there you go, that's a brief overview of Gyallis. I hope you found the information helpful. If you want more competitive analysis and Temtem content, stick around for future videos. Thanks for watching, and check out my channel for more Temtem content. Like, comment, subscribe, and keep on gaming. Peace out.